Good day. I hope you're doing well. Today we're looking at part 3 of a portfolio of evidence for programming 2B. The system we're looking at is the contract monthly claim system. This is essentially a system where lecturers will submit claims for the month that they have worked, the amount of hours they've worked in that particular month, alongside their respected hourly rate. They can submit notes and supporting documents for each respected claim. Then our second and third role that we have for the system are managers and coordinators. They serve the same purpose. Managers and coordinators can approve and reject claims according to specific criteria set, and they can also view and download respected documents. The fourth and final added role is HR, and their role is basically to review all approved claims and generate PDF invoices for the lecturers and to be sent around. Finally, the role that you do not see but that is used right now is the database admin role. Their job is to basically control the flow of users, who logs in, who can register accounts, and for what roles. As you can see, we have our login screen, nothing too fancy here. Then we have our register page. Now, this is all what database admin controls, because they can control every single role: lecturer, program coordinator, academic manager, and HR. This is the responsibility of database admins. So with that being said, let's do a little walkthrough of each of the roles. So we have 4 seeded roles that have been pre-made for this demonstration and that you will also be receiving. You feel free to create your own users, whether it be lecturer, managers, coordinators, or HR roles. That is all possible. So we'll start off with our lecturer role. Okay. As you can see, we are now logged in. This is our home page, and then we can submit claims over here. We have our drop down of months, so we'll choose October. Hours worked. There is set criteria that has been set up behind the scenes so that claims automatically get validated or have a submitted status so that managers and coordinators can review it to see maybe if there was an error, or maybe the lecturers have gotten a raise or worked a bit more overtime, for example. The criteria is that lecturers cannot work more than 160 hours a month, and that they have to be in a very close proximity of an hourly rate. These typos do happen occasionally. But for the month of October, this lecturer worked, let's say, 120 hours at an hourly rate of 50. The total amount is in auto-calculated via JavaScript. As you can see, hours worked times hourly rate, and there we have it, our total amount. Notes, we can say October's salary. And in supporting documents can be anything under a specific file size limit, so we'll have it as a JPEG just for the purposes of this demonstration. As you can see, it is automatically approved. We can view the note, but there will not be anything because it was automatically approved via the system. Just for demonstration purposes, we will have September, and then we'll have 170 hours at, let's say, 70 Rand an hour. As you can see, total amount is calculated again, and then we'll just have this as a test with notes. As you can see, the status is submitted, not approved, and the only option we have is to delete this claim, so we'll cancel that. Now, we will log out, and I'll show you the manager role. As you can see, claims from Sydney Sedila, the lecturer account that we were logged in as, they are displayed here. Please note that every single lecturer's claims will be here, not just one of them. So feel free to create a lecturer account and then also submit their respective claims. So as we can see here, we've got the automatically approved claim and then the submitted claim that we just did. You can go over to coordinator. As I said previously, they fulfill the same exact rules. There are some UI changes, so to distinctify each of the roles. We have our second claim here. We can view the details. As you can see, quite an in-depth note of exactly what has been submitted. Reviewers notes, this is us what we will be reviewing, and then we'll just say um, not accurate information, for example. And then we will reject that claim. As you can see, the status has been changed. We go back to lecturer, and there we go, rejected, and we can view the note by who it was reviewed at the timestamp, and then the note as well. We will submit one more claim just for the purposes of this, say 40 hours for, say, a bit of a month, not a full month, so I actually have that at 60, hourly rate of 50. This is the preceded values of the application DB context, by the way, which I will also show you in the code. That is why our values get auto approved if they are within specified criteria. If this is not 50, let's say 60 for example, it will again be entered in a submitted status pending for review instead of being automatically approved, and I will display that. And then we'll just say half November. No supporting documents. Well, okay, we'll have a supporting documents just for the purposes. I have not displayed that yet. And there we go, as you can see, automatically approved. And I don't need to demonstrate again. You have seen that this one, 170, was just pended for review. Okay. Now, as a manager, you are able to view those documents. Go here, click on it, it gets downloaded, and the image is shown. Just for context, these images were used for a cloud development project. Okay. Now, last role is HR. HR's role consists of looking at approved claims. As you can see, there are only 2 approved claims from all lecturers that have gone through the approval stages, either being manually approved or automatically approved via the system. What this means is HR only sees those, and their only role is to generate invoices. As I've previously said, the role of the duty of registering new users, whether it be lecturers, managers, coordinators, or HR users, are all done via the database administrator, which is how it is in the real world. You're not going to give an HR person that amount of control. Alright, so just to display, it generates an invoice for this claim, 6,000 Rand, 120 hours worked, and as you can see, it's just a simple PDF document with all of the information that you would possibly want. Go back, and then you can generate an invoice for the second claim. And that about wraps up how this system works, or how it looks at least. As you saw, every single user has slight UI tints made to it so that you can distinctly identify each of them. Now, moving over to some of the code, just a brief explanation. As you can see, I have my controllers over here. Each class or each controller has citations, comments, and where applicable, reference lists. So that's for all of the classes. As I said, the application DB context, as you can see, just our normal seeding over here and our dependency injections. Here's our seeding. As you can see, our 4 users right here for our 4 distinct roles. So if you want to review, that is what you need to input, unless if you want to register new users, you are more than welcome to do that. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that I used SQLite as my database. I feel that this was the best choice to make in terms of this project's scale, because SQLite is very lightweight. So that is the database I decided to use instead of an internal one. It also just works better with MVC and a lot easier to clean up. Next up, our invoice service. This is where our PDF documents get generated. As you can see, I have done text files as well. Reason for that is PDF files did not initially want to work. So then I started with text files. When I had that working, I then moved up to PDF files, which is now 100% working. Next up is our claim validation service. Not a lot of code here, as you can see. Just what I said earlier, it checks that the amount of hours worked in a month is less than 160 hours. If it's more, then the claim automatically gets sent to a submitted/pending status. And then, as you can see here, we have a very fine matching rate for the hourly rate of a lecturer. And here's our output messages that get sent to the database admin as well. Okay, that about wraps up the system. I hope you enjoyed this video and this deep dive into it.